Hello, Dr. Mativo and UGA Motorsports. Our team is presenting to you today to assist in organizing your different teams in order to design division-oriented vehicles through better communication and collaboration. We are the UGA Motorsports Management Team, and I am Brian Fredricks, the Team Project Manager. The UGA Motorsports Management Team is an independent instructional design agency dedicated to bringing the training objectives of our clients to actionable and tangible outcomes. The multidisciplinary backgrounds of our designers offer a holistic range of expertise that, when combined, will create a product unique to your private or public sector business. The UGA Motorsports Management Team has its headquarters in the Atlanta area, but services clients in all industries, local and remote. One of the University of Georgia's best sponsored professional and student organizations is UGA Motorsports. UGA Motorsports is a student-led organization which allows its members to explore the automotive world. It welcomes students of any major. The current membership data shows 146 members and 30 non-members who participate. Members who participate but are not officially on the team are called capstone members. This puts the total at about 176 members. The organization consists of two teams or divisions, Formula SAE and Endurance Racing. The Formula SAE and BAGA SAE teams have the yearly goal of building a vehicle with an internal combustion engine and participating in a competition. They want to build a small-scale F1 race car to enter an international competition. UGA Motorsports students are solely responsible for the designing, engineering, and manufacturing of this car. Formula SAE is a wonderful opportunity for UGA students to design and manufacture parts themselves for the final car. In addition to the Formula SAE and BAJA SAE teams, UGA Motorsports added a Formula EV team in 2021-2022. EV stands for Electric Vehicle, a car with newer technology using aerodynamics and regenerative braking rather than internal combustion for greater power efficiency. In 2021-2022, the Formula EV will work on the powertrain and intends to race in the international competition in the year 2022-2023. The UGA Motorsports Endurance Racing program modifies internal combustion vehicles to compete in motocross. There are 2 motocross events per year, in the fall and spring. In 2021, the endurance team finished modding a Mustang and continued innovation and progress on an internal combustion BMW. The rally cars need to run continuously from 7 to 24 hours in both Champ Car events, which take place across the country. Students interested in the endurance racing program will participate in a genuine racing experience by taking pre-existing cars and turning them into endurance vehicles.
In this part, I will talk about the performance assessment. The performance assessment has 2 purposes. The first one is to find the gap between students' actual performance and desired performance. The second one is to analyze the primary causes of the gap. Then, based on the performance assessment, we can define our purpose statement. In the performance assessment, we identified 5 gaps between students' actual performance and desired performance. In this presentation, I would like to talk the first 2 as examples to illustrate the identification of the gap and primary cause. The first one is that about 20% of students in the Formula SAE program can't work effectively to build a small-scale F1 race car due to insufficient engineering knowledge. The desired performance is that students in the Formula SAE program could build a small-scale F1 car through transferring their engineering knowledge from classroom to practice. Based on the gap between actual performance and desired performance, we identified the primary cause is that engineering students don't have prior experience in designing the racing car from scratch, even though they have high interest in participating in this program. The second performance gap is that about 45% of students in the Formula SAE program can't communicate effectively both within division and across divisions. However, the desired performance should be the motorsport students in the Formula SAE program could work collaboratively using effective communication strategies and skills both within the program and across programs. So based on the gap, we identified the primary cause should be that students in the Formula SA program come from different majors across the UGA campus. So based on the 5 gaps we identified and the primary cause for each gap, we define our purpose statements for this training is to train the engineering students in the UGA Motorsports organization to develop better communication and collaboration skills and strategies.
Learner audience profile. Let's start with our learner group. Our learner group includes undergraduate and graduate students in the UGA Motorsports organization from the University of Georgia. There are 176 members in total. Characteristics. Learners are between the ages of 18 and 25 years old, are of mixed genders, mixed races, mixed socioeconomic statuses, mixed majors, and have varying levels of automotive experience. Numbers. There are 176 members in total, 146 official members, and 30 capstone members. Members are divided into 4 divisions.
Per the client's request, the client would like a flow chart to illustrate the 4 divisions of the University of Georgia's Motorsport Group based on their competition goals. Our first option, which is the client's request, requires fewer resources than option B. It's less time and less money. Our goal is to develop a flow chart or visual presentation for option A. And here there will be an optional Zoom for participants who want to learn how to use the flowchart. If we look at the itemized receipt of resources, I see that a Zoom licensing for education is $1,800. Now this may already come with their UGA tuition, so this may not be included in the final itemized receipt of resources. We know that we would need to use Google Drive in order to foster communication. This is also free through UGA. Now, to develop the flow chart, we would need FedEx with their large format poster printing resource. And we would develop that poster of a flowchart at a 36 by 40 size, and that would cost $60 for that job. Furthermore, we would also want 250 copies of the organizational information, which would just be a smaller flowchart, and it would be able to, and we would here be able to distribute this to all the participants, and then potentially anyone who is interested in the UGA Motorsports. That job would cost $250. Now, since there's 176 members, we would have plenty extra for potential participants. This brings a total at $2,110. Now, should the client not need Zoom licensing for education, it would only be a total of $310 for option A. Now, we would like to present option B, which is our personal recommendation. We felt that collaboration and communication would help the overall team at UGA Motorsports, and so we felt that a training seminar on effective and professional collaboration and communication would help the team achieve their organizational goals based on what they want to complete in their competitions. Now here, instead of using FedEx to just make a flow chart and then just distribute that information, we would hire a team collaborative coach. Instead of an optional Zoom, where of course in option A you could have the participants come if they wanted to learn how to use a flowchart. Here Zoom would be required out of the 176 or whatever number is actually participating in the UGA Motorsport. This Zoom is required so they can discuss how to work together and all those things. So let's look at the itemized receipt of resources. So of course the Zoom licensing for education, one license costs $1,800. This should be enough to encompass all the members of the team. Now the team collaborative coach, we found a option through cloverleaf.com at $250 per hour, and we would hire this coach for 8 hours. Now, of course, the seminar would not last 8 hours. We would only have this seminar for 4 hours with the participants of UGA Motorsport. The other 4 hours out of the 8 hours we would use to help plan and design the materials needed for this training seminar. We would need the expertise of the coach so we can help present to the participants how to talk to each other professionally, how to work with each other on a car design, and how to find information and determine the most appropriate form of communication with all these members. So for 8 hours at $250, that would be $2,000. We of course would want to use Google Drive so we can electronically distribute the presentation materials after the fact, and we of course get this resource free through UGA. So we would continue to use Google Drive for the collaboration feature, and so that brings this total of option B to $3,800, not including any other taxes or fees.
Our dates for the project are as follows. In the analyze portion, we believe that we will be finished by October 24th. For the design portion, which it takes about a week, we think that we will be finished by October 31st, beginning on October 25th and finishing on October 31st. For the development portion of this project, we will begin that on November 1st, and we will finish that on November the 7th. For the implementation phase of this project, we will begin that on November the 8th and finish that on November the 12th. And for the evaluation phase of this project, we will begin that on November 15th and finish that around November the 20th.
Okay. So thank you very much for watching our presentation. I was just pulling up. So I am the project manager, Brian, and Ashlyn completed the learner audience profile section. Thank you, Ashlyn. And Lehong completed the performance assessment and purpose statement. Apita did the instructional goals, and Harper created the chart indicating the resources. And we also have the client here today. So the client is represented as the sponsor, Dr. Mativo, who's going to be Ashlyn. And Hope is the club president. And we have a parent here who is going to be Harper. We have a member of the organization who is Lehong. And I will be playing a non-member, Brian. Apita is the designated UGA Motorsports team representative who will be happy to answer any questions that the stakeholders have today. So does anybody have any questions?
Yes, Brian. As a parent who spends a lot of money for my kid to be a part of this program, how do you see this communication flow chart benefiting the competition side of UGA Motorsports?
Hi, parent. My name is Apita Waters. I'm the representative here, and I'm happy to answer your question today. I think that these skills, and we appreciate at UGA how much money you are spending on your child's tuition, and we know that that does not come at an easy or fair price. But we do feel that the skills through the communication and the collaboration aspect are actually skills they'll need in the real world. When these college graduates get into actual career positions, they need to learn how to work in a team, collaborate with other divisions and departments. So we feel that this is almost another educational opportunity that would benefit them to be career ready. Are there any other questions?
Thank you, Apita. I'm just looking for my kid to be successful at these competitions. Thank you for answering my question.
Absolutely.
Dr. Mativo here. I appreciate the presentation that you guys have put together for us. My original request was for a flow chart, which looks like to be option A. And I see that it comes in at $2,110. But as stated in your presentation, you suggested option B instead. It does come at a pretty significantly increased price, but I was curious to why that was more strongly suggested.
What a great question. I think we anticipated the price difference due to the present or due to the preference. We feel that communication and collaboration is a little bit more of a stronger skill. And so we were trying to find a team collaborative coach that just really fit the UGA Motorsports, because we see them more as a team trying to reach a competitive goal, not necessarily an organizational thing. So we kind of felt like the coaching would benefit the team more to achieve their goals. And that a flow chart can be something that, yes, it is the cheaper option, but what's it really doing for the climate of the team?
Thank you so much, Apita.
Hi, I'm an engineering student in this organization. So I personally prefer to the option B your team provided. So I wanted to know what kind of strategies that I can apply to my practice when I communicate with peers from other divisions.
Well, I think that would be a more appropriate question for the team coach, because I don't quite have that expertise in coaching teams and having them and like doing those little strategies. But I do feel like some of the basics that undergraduates need to learn prior to the workforce is sometimes, how to have those uncomfortable conversations with another department, being able to find the resources yourself before emailing or approaching another person. And then I think just being more professional in an environment where you're always trying to reach one goal, because those things can be really overwhelming, especially as a 18 to 24-year-old. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Well, I'm actually currently a non-member, and my question was, where and when are the meetings again?
That's a really great question. I believe the meetings are in a hallway. It's at 6:20, and another teammate can tag in if I am incorrect. But I believe it is, Tuesdays at 6:30 at the engineering center. And I know that they would love to see me at it.
Oh, thank you. And I'm also wondering if there's going to be food at every meeting.
I am not the president of the club. I think that's more of a presidential duty. I think they do their best. I know that there's quite a lot of championship money that's coming in from these competitions. So I believe that they should be able to provide some food, but I wouldn't bank on it.
Well, thank you.
Not a problem.
Well, at this time, we're going to open it up to anybody, any of the clients who have any questions, regardless of what your role is. Does anybody have any last questions today? And I heard you're supposed to wait after you ask that because people have to think about what their question is. As a non-member, I have one last question. Am I going to be required to go to every single meeting if I'm going to be a non-member?
Again, I am not totally positive of the policies, the attendance that takes place. I think that's more of a managerial, minute detail. But I feel like if at these meetings we're constructing cars and making designs and being crafty, that you would want to attend every meeting as much as you can.
Okay, thanks.
I do have one last question. Looking at your project management plan, it looks that whichever option we choose, A or B, that it would be complete by November 20th. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. My colleague prepared that management plan, and she may have more details for that than I. But yes, absolutely, that is our goal.
Great. We're looking to get this information out in the new year. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So if there are no other questions, I believe our club president is Hope, and Ashlyn, you're the sponsor. Dr. Mativo, do we have your endorsement of either option A or option B?
Correct. Yes. Dr. Mativo, I think we are on the same page when we say that option B would probably be the best for our club.
Wonderful. The collaborative coach scheduling.
Awesome. Thank you so much.